There are players who win trophies and are remembered. There are players who break records and are celebrated. And then there is Adriano, a man who had everything the game could offer and lost it all in a single phone call. This is the story of the Emperor. Adriano Leite Ribeiro was born on February 17th, 1982, in the Vila Cruzeiro favela of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Vila Cruzeiro was not the kind of place that produced football legends. It was poor, dangerous, and unforgiving. But from the time Adriano could walk, he had a ball at his feet, and from the time he could run, nobody could stop him. His father, Almir, was the person who nurtured that gift. He took Adriano to training. He watched every match. He was not just a parent, he was the foundation that everything was built on. Adriano was so talented that Flamengo's youth academy took him in as a teenager, and by 2000, at just 18 years old, he was already playing for the first team. He was fast, powerful, and technically brilliant, with a left foot so devastating that defenders simply did not know what to do with him. Word spread quickly across South America and then across Europe. Inter Milan came calling. In 2001, Adriano made the move to Italy, initially going on loan to Fiorentina, and then spending 2 years at Parma, where he formed a lethal partnership with Adrian Mutu, and scored 22 goals in 36 appearances. By the time he returned to Inter Milan in 2004, the football world knew exactly who he was. He had already been compared to Ronaldo not as a compliment, but as a genuine assessment. People believed Adriano was built to be the next great Brazilian striker, and for a brief, brilliant period, he was. In the summer of 2004, Adriano was sent to represent Brazil at the Copa América in Peru. Ronaldo was absent through injury, and so Adriano carried the team. He was extraordinary. He scored 7 goals in the tournament, a record, and in the final against Argentina, with the score level deep into injury time, he turned and unleashed a left-footed strike that crashed into the net and sent the game to penalties. Brazil won the shootout. Adriano was named player of the tournament. Standing on that podium with his medal, tears streaming down his face, he looked into the camera and said something that would later break the heart of everyone who heard it. He said the title belonged to his father, that without his father, he was nothing. 9 days later, the phone rang. On August 4th, 2004, while at preseason training with Inter Milan, Adriano received a call from Brazil. His father, Almir Leite Ribeiro, had died of a heart attack at the age of 44. Inter teammate Javier Zanetti was there when the call came through. He later described watching Adriano throw the phone across the room and start screaming a scream so raw and so broken that Zanetti said it gave him goosebumps every time he thought about it, even years later. At first, it seemed like Adriano would survive the grief. He returned to Inter and continued scoring. He dedicated every goal to his father, pointing to the sky after each one. In the 2004 to 2005 season, he was one of the most feared strikers in all of Europe. He finished in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or. He won the IFFHS World Top Goal Scorer Award in 2005. He helped Brazil win the 2005 Confederations Cup, finishing as the tournament's top scorer with 5 goals and winning Player of the Tournament for the second time in 12 months. But behind the goals, something had collapsed. Adriano later admitted that after his father died, he started drinking. Not occasionally, every day. He was drunk at training. He was alone in Milan, thousands of miles from the favela where he grew up, and the one person who made all of it feel worthwhile was gone. His fellow Inter player Ivan Cordoba once sat with him and told him he could become the best player who had ever lived a mix of Ronaldo and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Adriano could not hear it. The emptiness was too deep. By 2006, the decline was obvious. Brazil took him to the World Cup in Germany as part of a magical attacking quartet alongside Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Kaká. But Adriano was a shadow of himself. He scored twice but contributed little else, and Brazil were eliminated in the quarterfinals by France. The following season at Inter, He missed games, fell out with management, and started putting on weight as the alcohol took hold of his body and his mind. Even Jose Mourinho, who managed Inter at the time, could not find a way to reach him. He drifted. He went to Sao Paulo on loan. He returned to Flamengo in 2009, where he briefly found himself again, scoring a hat trick in a 4-0 win and helping the club win their first Brazilian league title since 1992. He went to Roma. His Achilles tendon gave out in 2011. And when the physical injury ended his ability to compete at the top level, Adriano understood it was over. He told an interviewer afterward that not all injuries are physical. He said there was a hole in his ankle and a hole in his soul. He retired in 2016 at the age of 34. His final career tally with Brazil was 27 goals in 48 appearances. He won 4 Serie A titles with Inter, the 2004 Copa América, the 2005 Confederations Cup, and 2 Brazilian league titles. By any measure, it was a remarkable career, but it should have been so much more. His former teammate, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, once described him as a pure animal, someone who could shoot from every angle, who nobody could tackle, who nobody could take the ball from. Even Zlatan, one of the most dominant strikers in history, looked at Adriano in his prime and was in awe. In December 2024, Adriano held a testimonial match at the Maracana Stadium in Rio. During the event, an artificial intelligence recreation of his father's voice was played on the big screen. The message said he was proud of his son and told him not to give up. Adriano broke down completely. His former teammates surrounded him and held him as the stadium watched. That image says everything about Adriano that statistics never could. He was not just a footballer. He was a boy from the favela who carried the dreams of his father on every run, every shot, every goal. When that man died, the dream became too heavy to carry alone. The emperor lost his throne not to a rival, not to age, not to injury. He lost it to grief. Like this video if Adriano deserved so much more. Subscribe to Football Rush HQ for more stories like this. And drop your answer in the comments. Was Adriano the most talented player who never fulfilled his potential?